What is up, guys, and welcome back to another day here with the Auto Works. Today we're going to be talking electric spray guns. Now, it's no secret, recently these have gone viral, and for good reason. A lot of people have always wanted like the cheapest way possible to get out of having to use a spray gun with a compressor and spend all that money on that setup. So everybody has always wanted to try and get the best possible finish out of an electric spray gun. So companies have been reaching out to us. We've been doing projects. We've been trying to show you guys really good results and everything else. But today let's just have a talk about it. Let me show you some stuff, behind the scenes. And let me show you some comparisons between two different models and show you what you're really getting for your money, what you're in for, and just the ins and outs of the electric spray guns that nobody else is really talking about on YouTube. So let's get into it. So here recently I've actually tested two different models of electric spray guns. This one right here is a battery powered one I got from an Amazon bin store for $10. And this one is a more popular HVLP version, guys, that's actually corded. So I know some of you guys have been asking about the corded one versus the battery ones. What are the differences? What are the drawbacks and everything else? So let me just show you these both real quick and show you the power on them and everything else. Alright guys, so these are the two electric spray guns I've been reviewing. Obviously there's many different ones flying around, but this is a battery powered one right here. It has a fan adjustment and it has a trigger adjustment, and when you pull the trigger, that's the power level on that one. Now this is the HVLP version, guys. This one has a lot more power, a lot more adjustments. Obviously with both of these you can change the tips out and everything else, but listen to the power difference that this one has. So a much stronger motor setup, and this one's actually corded, guys, in comparison to that one. So that's why I'm able to dial this one in, get better, spray outs, and just overall better results. Now, can you do it with this one? Yes, you just have to be mindful of these batteries because they will wear out over time. And yeah, so that's the two different spray gun models I've been using. And yeah, let's move on to some results. So, two different spray guns. Obviously, there are many more out there on the market. And when it comes to results, people have been getting very mixed results. And there's a pretty good reason why, guys, because people are doing these in various conditions. And your conditions strongly dictate what you get results-wise, just like with anything else. I mean, if you're doing it in a dusty old shop, or if you're doing it in a makeshift tent that you just set up outside, or if you're just setting it on a stand outside trying to get good results. Or the flip side of that, what if you have a temperature-controlled paint booth and you can control everything, and then you try to do these spray outs or these paint jobs or whatever? What are the two differences you get? What results can you expect? And just the realities of everything. Well, let me show you my results that I've got here recently, the best results I've gotten with the HVLP version, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so this is a hood I sprayed actually yesterday. A lot of you guys have seen it. The whole reason I'm doing this video really is because I had a lot of people ask me about the results you get, and just say that nobody's really showed everything long term or anything like that. So here it is, guys. I mean, this is the reality. I mean, obviously it's not perfect. I've got some trash in it because I'm not painting in a temperature controlled paint booth. I can't bake my stuff and get it to cure out so that it don't get trash in it. So this is what it's looks like after sitting 24 hours out here in the heat and humidity and everything else. Now, this is a test hood, so it has blemishes and stuff on it. I did not do all the body work on it, high build it, and all that type of stuff because, it's just a test panel. And, I just want to show you guys realistic results. Now, this is kind of a harder color to see because of it being blue, but I'll try and get you guys some good angles so you can actually see. See that blemish right there? If you look right there, that is actually body work, guys. That is not the paint job. So, these results are great. Mine are cut and buff, and this thing will be awesome because, I mean, if you look at it, you can always see my hand in it some. But yeah, painting outside, guys. I'm not in a temperature-controlled paint booth or anything like that to control this stuff. So this is the realistic results you're going to get if you decide to do it outside in the elements. So I've seen a lot of YouTubers do product review videos on multiple different models, makes of these spray guns, but nobody's really sat down and just talked the reality of these electric spray guns and telling everybody what you're in for. And I've seen some of my comments. I read all of my comments, and I typically at least thumbs up and heart my comments, or I actually respond back to you guys, because I actually want to make my channel an interactive channel. I've got about a little over 20,000 subscribers now, and until I get to the point where I can't do it no more because I've just got way too many subscribers and everything else, and I have to answer everything in a video like this, I'm going to keep answering you guys on an individual basis, because that's what makes this whole situation fun. Anyways, 2 different electric spray guns. One's an HVLP, one's a cheap battery power one, and realistic results. I did this with the door open to my shop to simulate actual, real world conditions. Most of the people that are going to pick up this electric spray gun and do it are going to be do-it-yourselfers. They're either going to have a small shop or no shop at all. So, my results are great. I will have to do a light cut and buff on this if I was doing this and actually going to keep this hood the way it is. Obviously, I would have done the body work, high builded it, all that type stuff. But what I wanted to show you guys in my videos was the paint job part of it. And that's not going to change much from everything else, especially if you're painting outside. When you get a little bit of trash in it, yeah, it's inevitable, because you're going to have, outer elements coming in on your paint job. I had a few bugs land in it while I was painting, and I had to sit there and get them and fish them out before I could do my next coat. And then, of course, just a little trash and just different debris and everything that's in the air just from time with painting, guys. That's one of the hardships of painting. That's no fault of the electric spray gun. It's just if you're painting outside, that something's going to happen to you, But as far as the electric spray guns go, ultimately, guys, I talked about them overheating, and I think everybody started freaking out. Oh no, it's overheating, But they don't overheat quickly unless you're painting outside in like 90-degree, heat and 90-degree weather, humidity, and everything else. They're not going to overheat that quickly. That when you saw the clip at the end of me doing the clear coat in the last video, I was actually running out of clear coat because these things dump material. It ain't like the HVLP guns or the LVLP guns. The material you're going to go through using these guns in comparison to an actual traditional HVLP compressor setup are highly different, guys. You will use a lot more material with these just because of the way they're designed. So that's one thing to be mindful of. So yes, it could start spitting because it's overheating, but it also will start spitting, being a siphon gun with a tube at the bottom if it runs out of material. As you're going to have to ultimately practice with these. You have to do the same thing with the HVLP compressor setup guns. You have to dial them in good if you want to get good results. If you do decide to paint stuff like this, and you're going to do big projects, you might have to disassemble them and take them apart and, do them piece by piece, just so that you can consolidate things down and get better results, overall. Instead of trying to spray everything in bulk. And then, like I said, with these electric paint guns, it don't matter what model it is, they will throw the material really quickly. So you have to be mindful of that and just keep an eye on your material. That way you don't run out and it starts spitting and stuff like that. Most of the time, guys, you're going to run out of material long before any of these guns start overheating. That is just the way it is. And with it being a siphon tube gun, opposed to an HVLP, when you see these guys spray with the HVLPs, they don't have to worry about that. You don't see a lot of that. But with these siphon guns, it's the older style design. You got it's just a whole different setup. It's a whole different world. And these siphoning tubes on these guns are actually pretty big as well. So, they will, if they don't have adequate amounts of paint or clear or whatever material in them, they will run out fairly quickly. Well, I hope you found this informative. I know it was a bit of a rant today. Some people love these type videos, some don't. But if you made it this far and you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell notification, drop me a like and comment real quick. Let me know your thoughts and opinions and your workings with electric spray guns and everything else. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I'm John from WHITLEY All Works. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.